Hello there, ladies and gents. Welcome to today's video. My name is Marcos Aguirre, and in today's video, I'm going to review, document, and sound demo this gorgeous guitar. This is a Dean Angelo Batió 1 Signature Series guitar. Let's get right into the specs and features of this beautiful instrument. From the factory, in terms of pickups, this guitar came with an EMG 85 on the bridge, an EMG 81 on the neck, and an EMG SA in the middle. As far as your controls, you have two knobs. The one on the left controls tone, the one on the right controls volume, and then you have a 5-way pickup selector. This guitar comes with a maple neck, which has 24 stainless steel frets, abalone inlays in the forms of blocks, an ebony fretboard which is rich and dark with streaks of brown, and this guitar has a 25.5-inch scale length. The bridge on this guitar is a Floyd Rose original double locking tremolo. This guitar came from the factory with Grover tuners. The neck seems to be a one-piece maple neck. Of course, this guitar has bolt-on construction, and on the back of the body we just have the usual cavity plates for electronics and for the Floyd Rose springs. Unfortunately, as with most Dean guitars that I've reviewed on this channel, this guitar does have a little bit of a neck joint crack. It's not bad, it doesn't expand, it doesn't affect playability, but anytime you see a neck joint crack, not only on this guitar but on any guitar, it makes you think twice about the quality. Apart from that, not only is this guitar in mint condition, but it shows signs of being a really good quality guitar. This is what's under the hood, sort of say, so the wiring is nice and tidy because this guitar is stock from the factory. The pickups are active, which is why you guys see a 9-volt battery there, so they have to be powered through that. The springs on the Floyd Rose are just your standard springs, so they're not noiseless or anything like that, but they're fine. And the inside of the cavities is coated in paint as well. The cavity plate for the Floyd Rose is just your standard plastic plate. Something I was pleasantly surprised about was with the electronic cavity plate, because it's shielded in aluminum. That's something I only see on high-end guitars. And not to say this isn't a high-end guitar, but I usually don't see this in Dean guitars, even with their higher end models. So that was a pleasant surprise, and it just goes to show that this guitar was made in a time when Dean guitars actually gave a shit about their products, which seems not to be the case nowadays. I forgot to mention that this is a special edition version of this model. How it differs from the stock models is that instead of having the graphic, that flamed armor graphic, printed onto the body of the guitar, it's actually etched into the body, which you can feel if you run your fingers through it. Instead of being like green and gray and whatever, it's actually just black with black. And it looks absolutely beautiful and metal and classy. And I know this kind of thing has been done in recent years, but at the time this guitar came out, it was in the mid 2010s. And at the time it was pretty new and original. It's a shame Dean didn't do more of this, but I can see why this at the time could have been very costly. So at least we got these guitars. Having said that, not only does this guitar get points for being beautiful, but also for being original. As of this video coming out, this guitar has been discontinued. Not only this particular model of this guitar, but all the Angelo Batió Dean guitars, which is a shame because they're actually really good guitars, but if we're being honest here, who knows how Dean would have done them nowadays, since the quality of their guitars has gone down in recent years. And I believe this is one of the reasons that a lot of artists left Dean guitars, but that's just my theory. Anyway, another cool thing about the body of this guitar is that the input jack is angled downward. I believe this is so you can wrap the cable around the strap and then plug your guitar in. I know a lot of guitars do this, so that way if they step on the cable, the input jack doesn't just like unplug the whole guitar. So that's another little thing that makes this guitar unique. The wood material for the body of this guitar is alder, and this guitar was made in Korea. Alright guys, let's get into the tone test demo of this guitar, and then I'll talk more about the construction, the feel, the components, and the sound of this guitar. So I apologize if the sound demo is a little short and I didn't do a clean test, but I actually shot all this footage like 20 minutes before I packed this guitar and sent it to its new owner. That's to say, as of this video coming out, I've already sold this guitar. My impression from having owned this guitar is that this is an excellent guitar. This is honestly the best Dean that I've ever owned. The quality of this guitar should be what the quality of all modern Deans is, but for some reason it isn't. In terms of sound, this guitar doesn't have the best sound, but it has a really good sound. After all, it does have EMGs, which is a good sound, but it's very generic. Having said that, the construction of this guitar is great. It is a little bit heavy, but I'm willing to bet that's because they used a good chunk of wood that's robust versus just for the sake of the guitar being heavy. But overall, this is a really good guitar. Right, guys, so final thoughts on this guitar. In terms of sound, I give it an 8 out of 10. So again, EMGs sound as good as they can on this guitar. In terms of construction, I give this guitar a 9 out of 10. So it's very well built, very robust. The only thing that keeps it from getting a better score is that neck joint crack. In terms of aesthetic, I give this guitar a 9.5 out of 10. Absolutely beautiful and honestly very original and beautiful for the time. In terms of feel, I give this guitar an 8 out of 10. So it feels good to play and hold, but it is a little bit heavy. In terms of components, I give this guitar an 8 out of 10. So it's got good components like the hardware, the Floyd Rose original does stay in tune very well. The Grover tuners hold tune very well. Not that it matters because this guitar has a double locking tremolo. But in terms of components, it could have been a little better. Maybe the Floyd Rose springs could have been noiseless. That could have killed a lot of the unwanted sound you guys heard in the tone test. But overall, this is a great guitar. This should be the standard for Dean guitars, but for some reason isn't. But it is what it is. If Angelo Batió ever comes back to Dean, this guitar should be reissued. At least that's my opinion of this. Right, guys, that's all I have for you for today. Thank you so much for watching. You guys stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.